Hi everyone, this is Rob Roy and welcome to the Elliott Wave Options S&P 500 U.S. market update. Well, since our last update, jobless claims, those filing for unemployment the first time, has been up over 1 million for 17 consecutive weeks. My home state of Florida has reported a big increase in COVID cases. But when you look at home builder sentiment, that's also up. New home construction is up. Retail sales are up. The market's up. It's just like everything's up. So what's really going on? Let's take a look at the charts. And congratulations to Brian Dvorak, the winner of the free ProfitSource software giveaway. And thanks to everyone that left comments. For our timestamp, the time of this recording is 11 p.m. straight up Eastern time on Sunday evening, and right now we had a spike down. The futures had been up. They spiked down about 9 p.m. just a bit though. They're down 13 right now, so not a big deal. I'm not sure exactly what happened at 9 p.m., but just enough to cause the move to the downside. If we take a look at the charts, the big news since our last recording is Gilligan's Freeze off the island. If we go back here, we talked about this island reversal, but right here on the 13th of July, the island reversal was disqualified, meaning this gap here, the second gap, was filled. So the island reversal is no longer a qualified pattern, meaning potential significant short-term move to the downside. We're moving up at this point in time, and you can see that we're right near that previous wave 3 high. We've had a couple 3 dojis right there in a row, so a lot of indecision right here at the point of this ascending triangle. So nice ascending triangle right at the resistance from the previous wave 3. Something's getting ready to happen here as far as a break in the market. We got a pretty good Fibonacci level there on the wave 4, so that could act as support for a break to the upside. But as Elliott always said, as a reminder, you don't pick direction when you see the triangles, and we're going to look at a few more. Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan, who's one that I think a lot of people pay attention to when he speaks, was talking about how things are truly unprecedented. He said usually that word is not used correctly, and he wasn't just talking about the markets, but he said around the world what's occurring now is literally unprecedented. So a lot of indecision right now in the markets, and you'll see that when we start to look at some of the other securities like the dollar. Here's the DS20 contract. So you can see here, and a lot of people seem to have trouble seeing triangle patterns. So this really cool new triangle tool that we have within ProfitSource draws a triangle for you. So all you do is just click on highs and lows, and it'll draw the triangle if you have difficulty seeing them. But you can see the triangle there and the break to the downside, which even in a short-lived contract like this has created a wave 5 pattern to the downside. And with the dollar moving lower, remember, to a point that's okay. That helps for international companies with the currency exchange and all, but you don't want the dollar to go too far to the downside to where it starts pointing towards economic weakness. So a weakish dollar, good for business. Too weak of a dollar, showing weakness in the economy. It's kind of a fine line there, but according to this 5-wave pattern, we're likely to see maybe a little bit more of a downward move in the US dollar. I also wanted to update you on a couple other things that we've looked at recently, gold and silver, and some of you had been a little bit critical of choosing silver over GLD. We actually have both, or had both. I'm going to update that here in a second for our subscribers, but silver's made a nice move to the upside, and we actually closed out a bullish call debit spread that we had because you can see the wave 5 target basically been hit. I mean, there have been several days right there, so it made sense to go ahead and take the profit and move on in that SLV trade. We'll look for another entry, whether that be to the upside or the downside. We still have our GLD strangle. And big different story here. Again, looking at SLV hitting its wave 5 target. But with GLD, we're at a 51% extension, but we only had a 29% wave 4 corrective level, which is really not. Elliott preferred to get at least to 38.2 as far as a good solid point. So there's still some indecision here and a little bit of a small triangle right there. Not a very large one. Certainly isn't going to generate a whole lot of breakout out of this, you wouldn't think, but it could be the start of the next move one way or the other. So we still have a strangle on GLD so that we could capture potential profit with an upward move or a downward move from here, and either one is still basically within the realms of being qualified as far as GLD, so that makes sense. Taking a look at the VIX, wanted to finish up here with the VIX. You can see that we do have this 5-wave downward pattern here with a 39% wave 4 correction right at that 38.2 fib level. But if we turn off Elliott Wave for a second, you can see that we had this descending triangle here and looked like we were going to have a little bit of a downward breakout, but that was a head fake. So the breakout of that triangle was to the upside, and now we've created another one. And coming out of this descending triangle, we have what's a little bit more unusual, although over the last year or so we've seen more than normal, an expanding triangle. So even the VIX isn't quite sure what it wants to do at this point in time. Adding the Elliott Wave pattern back on, you would look for a potential downward breakout with that Wave 5 pattern. But as a reminder, I mentioned this already in this recording, that Elliott said when you have a corrective triangle, don't get caught trying to pick direction. So basically, awful lot of indecision in the market right now. But if we move to the upside here, that also fulfills, remember, that zigzag pattern that we also had to the upside, which corresponds right with this Wave 5 target here. So likely by the next recording, we'll know the outcome of that ascending triangle. Hope you've had a good week. Back to talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. If you like these recordings, I'd like to invite you to join our new Trade Finder Live, where each and every week we do a live webinar where we talk about the market, but we also go a little more in depth into the technical analysis system that we utilize to forecast where the market's likely going to go, and also to identify trading opportunities. Get your free subscription today. Take care, everybody.